Hi, and welcome to the Healer's Connection. I'm Dr. Michelle Petacolis, the host of this series that helps you to meet and get answers to your questions on your health and healing issues. I invite a variety of healers to come on the show to help you to understand and be exposed to a variety of approaches to having a better life. My program is Secrets of Life and Death and Second Chance Secrets, and I empower people like you to have a better second chance in life after a divorce or a loss or a major life challenge. Our topic tonight is pain. Isn't pain awful? Doesn't pain kind of suck? It like takes the life energy out of you. It takes up all the time. It takes up all your focus, especially when it's really bad. It's the kind of thing that sends you to the doctors right away, especially if it's dental pain. So the question is, what do you do about chronic pain? What happens when the medical profession fails? What are your choices? How do you approach it? In fact, how do you approach it even if you go to the medical choices? Do you also connect with alternative approaches? Do you look at the psychological foundations? Personally, I always go and look at everything. Today, we're going to be also with our guest speaker, Charissa Sims, looking at spirit. And before we begin with her, I want to talk about life purpose for a minute. I do have some background in helping people to become clear about what their life purpose is. And life purpose is really important because that's why we're here, isn't it? It's like we have a reason for being in this three-dimensional plane. I like to, actually, my yoga teacher used to say, you are a spiritual being having a human adventure. Mm-hmm. And when you look at life that way, you realize that, well, why are we here? Do you know the number one regret of the dying is not living a life true to yourself? So basically, life purpose doesn't necessarily mean that you have to build the Taj Mahal, but it does mean that you have to be true to yourself. And before we begin, I want to offer you an opportunity to get my 5-day Life Purpose Challenge kit. And you can get that. It's 5 days of workbooks and training videos. My personal suggestion to you to get you started is just do the workbook, just do the pages each day and fill that out. And then if you need more instructions, listen to the trainings. If you want to go deeper, then listen to the QA sessions. And then if you have more questions, reach out to me and let's have a conversation. How to get the Life Purpose Challenge? All you need to do is go to Release Brilliance. Brilliance is my term for spirit, releasebrilliance.com. And that will take you to a form in which you'll be able to sign up, and then you'll get access to my Life Purpose Challenge kit. Now, I want to introduce our guest tonight, and her name is Charissa Sims. She is a spiritual healer and a corporate wellness expert. She is amazing. She's the host of the podcast, You Inspired. She's a best-selling author of Change Your Energy, Change Your Life, best-selling children's book author, entrepreneur, mom, teacher, corporate consultant, and spiritual healer. She has studied meditation, spiritual healing, and has learned to master her own healing abilities. She's worked as a healer and has changed people's lives in the area of releasing spirits and cord cutting. Ms. Sims has worked with USC, Amazon, Google, Fox, NBC, Universal, and many more, thousands of companies, nonprofits, and schools. So without further ado, I am going to bring Charissa up on the stage with me. Hi, Charissa. Thank you and welcome to the Healers Connection. I'm so glad to be able to repay you and bring you on my stage after you were such a wonderful host on your stage.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be talking with you, and I just love this topic.
I love this topic too, so I'm very, very excited. To start with, I want to ask you, how did you get into this whole business, this line of business? How did you like take that to the corporate world? I'm impressed.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to clarify because like a lot of my bio, it seems that I remove spirits and do healing for corporations, and I'm not there yet.
And they do need it, don't they?
Let's just say I'll hold the space for that.
I love it.
For that in the future. But so I started off consulting with corporations, and I still do. And on the way, I just wanted to improve my life. So I started thinking of ways to reduce stress and just improve my well-being. So I started learning about meditation. And I also enjoyed going to workshops and going to different spiritual healers. So I ended up going to a 10-day Vipassana retreat. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Have you been?
No, I studied with a Sufi master for over 30 years. So that was my spiritual practice.
Oh, yeah.
But my husband went to Vipassana, but
that's great.
Personally, I'm like more active. I have a lot of high energy. I can't sit in one place for a long time.
I hear you. I have to say it was the most challenging thing. I mean, I'm an athlete. I've done like a half Ironman, and I've done some challenging things, but being quiet for 10 days was the most challenging, profound experience that I've ever had. And basically they say, if you can make it through the fourth day, it's an amazing program, by the way, because it's free. And if you feel like you have gotten value from it, you give whatever you think is good for the next person, like a scholarship for the next person. Maybe it's $200, $100, or $500. Yeah. So
I hope you put that in the chat for people if they want to check that out, because it sounds awesome.
Okay. Yeah. I'll spell it out. Yeah. Vipassana meditation. Okay.
And I want to invite our guests to type into the chat if you have questions as you go along, and I will look at the chat periodically and make sure that we stay up with your questions. So don't be shy. Go ahead and put it in there.
Yeah, that's great. Let's make it interactive. Absolutely. Do you have any questions? I love that, Dr. Michelle.
Yeah, well, we've got a pretty good turnout, so you're doing great.
Okay, great.
Pain is a very powerful issue. I love it.
Yeah.
Although I don't love pain, but go on.
Right. Well, I have to say, I did experience pain. So it's interesting that this came up, like the purpose of pain. So the purpose of pain in that context at that meditation retreat was to help me ascend, was to help me move through the issues in my life that were being brought up by this silence, by this stillness, by the same position. So in that case, that purpose of physical pain, I was actually feeling physical pain from
Yes, I guess so. Sitting in one place and your feet going to sleep and your legs going to sleep.
Yeah, all this stuff, but you can move. They're not like totally strict, but it does help to stay in one position as far as your focus and everything. But I would have to say, after the fourth day, I transcended my body, and I saw the pain as something separate from me. That was just an experience that I needed to go through to get to the next level of my spiritual evolution. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody. That was just for me in that moment. That was the purpose of pain for me, to really focus on my body, to really center in on my lower back, on that body part, to be so present and so aware of what is going on in my body, being in my body and breathing in. That's the whole philosophy of Vipassana. Now, there are meditations that are about like transcendental meditation, TM. That's all about ascending, flying. And I've never done that before, but that's another type of meditation. There's all different types. I mean, probably thousands of types of meditations. But I really enjoyed this meditation because of that focus of being here and now on this reality, experiencing spiritual things and seeing things. I would visualize things, and I would have different visions. And I also, creativity comes in. So when you move through that pain, you can make room and space for something amazing, for divine inspiration, for like something new and creative. So I actually created a song based on Gandhi's amazing inspirational quote, "Be that change that you seek in this world." So wow. I can sing it for you a little bit.
Oh, great.
That change that you seek in this world, be that change. I know you want to be that change. You want to know that change. You want to be it, feel it, know it, be it. Yeah. Just be that change. So that's just like part of it. But like after that, after I came up with this song and all the words and everything, I was able to just like synchronicity started happening in my life. And I was able to meet someone who had a studio, a producer, one of the sons of the Monkees, actually.
Wow.
He had a studio and he helped me, and we made a song and he produced it and he had me sing. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. So that was one part of my journey. And then and another thing, so I didn't really get in touch with my own healing abilities at that point. I really got in touch with just my own ascension and spirituality and wanted to know more, wanted to go deeper. So I went to another Master Shah. In fact, if anyone's interested, he's such an amazing person. He's a medical doctor from China. And maybe some of you know, would anyone want to raise their hand, say if you know Master Shah?
Harriet says so. Let's see if anybody else
Okay,
does.
good. So you like this story, Harriet. You know, Master Shah. Okay. So I was kind of a little bit of a groupie. I had met him at the Conscious Life Expo in LA, and he saw me, he stopped me, and he said, you need a soul reading. So he did a reading there. And then I ended up just loving him and going to one of his workshops in Toronto. And I was feeling so moved by his healing energy that I started dancing. And dancing around, there's like thousands of people at this workshop, and they go really long. So it's kind of like you get to this state, almost like the Vipassana retreat, where you're truly ascending spiritually. And he pointed me out and he said, you are a soul healer, soul dancer, come up to the stage and heal. So then all of a sudden, I had never done this before, mind you. I didn't really think of myself as a healer. I worked in corporations. I did training on ergonomics and posture and helping people set up their workstation properly. It's called ergonomics. And
I wonder if I need some help with my chair.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely. I can help with that. But anyway, so he said this, and he said, come up, and everybody else, anyone who wants a healing, go ahead and line up. So I had seen him do healing. So Harriet, you know how he does the healings, connects with the soul. So he goes, transmission to me. Like he was transmitting this power of soul healer, soul dancer. So then I start connecting with people, and all of a sudden I just get downloaded. I think it's called claircognizance. When I would connect with people, I could see everything, all their blocks, anything going on with them. They didn't have to say anything. I could see like little black dots of their pain or their issues or relationships or whatever. And I started healing them, and they would feel better after just a few minutes of me doing the
Wow.
healing. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Maybe
so
we'll get a little demonstration today. So you
Sure.
guys think about who wants to
Yeah.
volunteer for some healing.
Yes, yes. But you know, I never after that.
Never say no to healing.
Okay, good point. Yes, receive. Even healers need to be healed. I have healers that I work with and to help me heal as well.
Well, I like this magical healing. My healing is a little more work. We go into the body and I ask the body what it wants. And then you have to listen to yourself and you have to give your body what it wants so that it stops giving you pain. It does work, but it does make
beautiful.
You have to
No,
learn.
beautiful. Well, all processes and all healing is valid and it's all wonderful. And everybody has a unique approach. And sometimes it can take multiple different healings because there's layers upon layers that can happen. I mean, if a person is ready, yes. So sometimes that was what was happening to me. These people had already gone through so much trauma, so much pain, and they've really tried everything. And they were actually ready, like their spirit's ready. So it's a dance, you know, I'm kind of like igniting their own healing abilities. So I have to ask.
Now say that again. That's really important.
Yeah, it's
You're
really
not a magician. You don't have the magic bullet. Say that again.
Exactly. Yes, we are a team. I'm empowering and igniting your own healing abilities that are just under the surface that maybe need to be released and activated for you to be healed. Awesome. So I'm gonna have to ask permission for your spirit and your soul. Are you ready? You know, let's do this together. And then we go through a meditation, and then I go do the healing in that space. So after that point, after Master Sha's workshop, when I'm healing these people, I still didn't get it that it was my calling or that I could charge people for it. I would just do it whenever I felt called, and I wouldn't charge. I would just say, oh, you have a little pain. Let me take care of that for you, you know, and let me do this for you. So it took me a while, actually. I think it took me about 7 years, if you can believe it, after that, before I started doing it as a business. You know, I'm going
to ask you an interesting question. Do you think it helps that there is an exchange of money when you do the healing? How do you feel about that?
Oh my gosh, that is such an excellent question. Because I do discovery calls, I do free discovery calls. And I had someone ask me for an exchange. And I wasn't really resonating with what she had to offer. And it didn't feel right. And so I decided, you know, I don't do exchanges. And there's a commitment that comes when there's a monetary exchange. I do feel like there's value in, in doing readings and healings. I do free readings on Clubhouse. That's a lot of the way I get my clients.
Oh, so please put the name of your Clubhouse in there.
Oh,
so
sure.
Who are in Clubhouse would also find that.
People awesome. Are in Clubhouse. Yeah, I do free readings, intuitive readings, you know, and then sometimes I'll do like a quick little group healing at the end, just connecting everybody. But yes, so you asked such a good question about an energy exchange, because why it's important is the commitment from the person to heal. They're ready. It's important. They're making themselves a priority by paying money. So, and I do see better results with that. They kind of dismiss it like, oh, you know, oh yeah, you're a good healer, you know, when I did it for free. You know, so it was really when people were like, wow, this is amazing, when they pay for it. Absolutely.
Well, you know, I think it doesn't last when you get it for free, because you haven't made the commitment to it. And because as the healer, you have to have that resonance between you and the other person for it to really solidify, for them to receive their own healing. And if they don't say to the universe, this is, you know, I'm putting myself on the line for this.
This is
The universe
important.
is going to say, okay, you've gotten a taste, but now you got to do more.
Yeah, and it can be challenging because one of my favorite things to heal is actually I like to remove blocks to allow more abundance to come in.
Nice.
So it's kind of interesting that, sometimes I attract people that can't even afford to pay me. I'm sorry. And they want to make more money, but it's just like catch 22. And I'm just like, when you're ready, I'll be here. But obviously the clients I have now, they can, and their abundance has just increased exponentially. Just, oh my God, I just have this client right now. I have to just brag about her a little bit.
All right.
This young millennial, she's an artist. We were healing. I did a healing a week for her. And after that month, she was moving from LA to New York, and she wanted to sell all of her art. And she charges thousands for each art piece. This is not a fly by night artist. She's like very, very talented, and she charges a lot. And she also does commission art for thousands. So she was able to make 65,000 and sell all of her art within a week. She needed to do it to move. And that was just one of the blocks we removed was her money patterns from her family, from her mother, a lot. So anyways, that's just one client that I'm really proud of.
That's
right now.
fabulous.
So
That's fabulous.
exciting.
So I bet you they all didn't know that you were going to be talking about removing money blocks. But
they didn't know that. I know, because I said the purpose of pain, right?
Right. So how does pain relate to money blocks or any other kind? Say a little bit more about the blocks.
Okay. Yeah. So like, let me give my client as an example. So she was actually having pain when she earned money. Ooh. So when she would get a lot of money, she would start to feel guilty, like this heaviness and responsibility, because she is now the wealthiest person in her family. And part of her culture is to support the entire family with her income. And to like send money back to her country. And not even just like this cultural responsibility. Her parents would just be like hounding her and asking her. So
where's the money? Where's the money?
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like cutting those cords. So it was really painful for her to receive it herself and really stand in her value and her worth as a young woman, as a powerful force and artist in this world, and supporting herself and realizing that she deserved this money. And yes, coming from a place of abundance, you can give, but don't give all of it. Just give like a small portion of it, and only when it feels right, not from obligation. So for her, like getting this money in, she had a block because she didn't want it, because it created a rift with her family. She was like, this person, she has all this money and she's not giving it to us. She's selfish, or, so they would literally give her this energy.
Yeah. Make her feel bad.
Yeah.
And then she would feel bad, and she would feel resentful too, because they wanted it all, right? They wanted it all.
Yeah. Because they deserved it, because she was like younger and, she has plenty of time to make money, whatever their reason was. So that was just one example of pain. And I will just have to say, so the purpose of her pain, why that was coming up, and this is my whole point of why I wanted to talk about this, is because it needed to be healed. So she was going through this pain, and it was so painful, and it was coming up to the surface to be healed. And I have been through my own pain and challenges. So I've had emotions that I just smashed down: anger, shame, guilt. And I have to say, it showed up as disease for me.
Interesting.
It came as cervical cancer.
Oh, wow.
In February 2020, recently. Yeah. So here I am, a healer, healing others, thinking, oh, I'm on top of the world, I'm invincible. Oh no, girlfriend. No. You have pushed down these emotions, this pain too long. And the purpose of that pain, it was really painful emotionally and just spiritually, everything for going through this. The purpose of that for me, I'll have to say, was the greatest gift because it got me to face the pain of my past, the pain of me being sexually abused, the trauma of that,
Yeah.
and the response of my father when I told him was just awful, not protective, dismissive. And so there was so much that needed to be healed. And then the rape that I had later in life. So I had pushed all of those experiences down because I was Wonder Woman. You know, I was a superhero. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not part of the Me Too, but I was. And I wasn't willing to face it until that diagnosis, until these emotions started coming up. So for me, I have been there, I have lived it. And guess what? Because I was able to focus on this pain, to really heal it from the depths of every cell of my being, it is gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 months ago, I got my MRI results and it's gone.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
incredible.
you
So fantastic.
And it was a gift. I know this is so hard to hear, that pain can be a gift, but it is. It makes you stop everything that you're doing and reflect and prioritize and think about yourself. What matters? What really matters to me now? And then move through that and get to the other side so that creativity, abundance, and flow can be a part of your life.
Right. And it's so sad because so many people don't even understand that. And so they just think that it's genetics or it's environment or it's just bad luck. And they suffer and struggle through illness and disease. My sister she's just going through one after the next of a knee that wouldn't wound, a shoulder that had to be, now the other shoulder needs to be repaired. And okay, so you can say she's older, and so this is part of aging, but maybe there's something that she has not been able to release. And that's very possible.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that you bring that up, because I work with people that have physical pain in the corporate world. You know, they have lower back pain from a bad chair, you know, or they have tennis elbow from reaching out for their mouse, you know. So pain the origin of it can be spiritual, but it can also be physical. It could be nutrition. It could be hereditary. It could be you're not taking care of yourself. You're not prioritizing yourself. Or it could just be awkward positions, not taking enough breaks. I mean, pain is so complex. I mean, sometimes, like Louise Hayes, do you guys, I mean, if anyone wants to raise their hand, like
we got some hands raised. Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that book amazing?
Yes, it is
so
amazing.
Sophisticated. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Harriet. Awesome. So it's so sophisticated. Like, you go in there, you look at lower back. So she has affirmations. I truly believe in affirmations too. Affirmations are really powerful if you believe it and say it with intention and really visualize yourself feeling that and experiencing it and living it to the fullest. Then affirmations can really work if you do it in combination with meditation and visualization. But she has the affirmation for, like, say, for example, low back pain, which is very, very common. And I think the reason why it's so common is because of what she says, that lower back pain is associated with security. And you're feeling like insecure, maybe financially or in a relationship, or
well, that lower back pain is the base chakra, which is about security and safety. So
there you go. So yeah, connecting it with the chakras too. So it's really so fascinating to think about that. And there's another book called The Emotion Code. I don't know if anyone's heard of that too. And
I haven't. Who wrote that one? Let me write it
Bradley Nelson. Bradley Nelson. So that's another amazing one too. And also healing the heart, heart math. Yeah, there you go. Louise. Yeah, there you go. Thank you,
Oh,
Harriet.
great. Thank you, Harriet.
I appreciate that. I so appreciate you, Harriet, putting that in there. So, anyways, I think it's just fascinating. And there's a whole field of study called psychoneuroimmunology have you heard of that before?
I've heard about neurobiology or
Yes.
psychobiology, and
Yeah, so it's like
I've
that.
studied psychosomatics, so I have a
Psychosomatic.
whole, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
I mean, gosh, I just saw a video the other day. I got to
mhm,
find out where what I lost it. It was amazing. In which
mhm.
this guy just came out and said everything that you know about your body and your health is wrong, that everything they've taught us is just part of the story. And he says we have in our bodies everything we need to stay healthy, and that there are just three things that can and that it isn't the genes, it's just there. I mean, we have all the immune system, we have everything we need, but we have to watch for environment, and we have to watch for thoughts was a big one. And there was a third one, and I can't remember it at the moment. But
Yeah.
the
That's
thoughts are
amazing.
huge, the way in
I
which we
love
think.
that. Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to talk about one example of this field of studies called
Oh,
psychoneuroimmunology.
please.
Is they found that frequently arthritis that presented was shame. The emotion was shame, was inflammation of all the joints. So it's
So in
unhealed.
psychosomatics, all the joints are representative of your solar plexus, which is how you show up in the world.
Oh,
Interesting,
beautiful.
right? So if
That is so
there's shame,
fascinating.
there's this, or regret or whatever about how
Mhm.
you're showing up in the world, that might reflect as arthritis. Oh my gosh, I'd never thought about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so deep, just how our body is so affected by patterns, by thoughts, by our emotions, and but also we're highly affected by the environment, and we need to protect ourselves from the environment as well, and eat healthy, take the right supplements, and everything else, and that can help facilitate. I worked with another healer, and she calls it feeding the light body. It's really eating the way that will facilitate a healer's body, that will bring more light in and allow you to heal yourself so much faster.
Well, you know that when I grew up as a Catholic, they always talked about your body as being your temple. And that's a
Mm.
good way to think about it. It is your temple. And if your temple is dirty and is not receiving spirit in a positive way, then, it's, if you're in pain, it's really hard to be in those higher states. It just takes
It's
you.
so true. Yeah. But sometimes if you hear stories of people in, let's say they've been in the hospital for months, and you talk to them and they say like it was a wake-up call. I wasn't
Mm,
living the life that I wanted to live.
mm,
And
mhm.
they kind of have, or of course, people, I mean, this is a really dramatic experience, people that have died and come back,
Oh,
or
yeah.
near
Yeah.
death. Of
Yeah.
course, they're going to come back and be just on a mission to live their best life, but we don't have to get that way. We don't have to die or have a near death experience to live our best life.
Right.
You can do that right now.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
how can people how can the people here on the call have a better relationship with their pain? How can they listen to themselves? How can
Oh,
they be their own
I
healer?
love that question. So, this is such an easy way to have a better relationship with your pain. So, what I like to do, and this is actually, Harriet, you probably know this process from Master Sha. This is where I first learned it, is you want to send love, because a lot of people have resistance to pain. Oh, my knee, I can't run anymore. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, sending a lot of hate into that
A
area.
lot of
Not good.
hate, negativity. Oh God, that's the worst for healing. No, it's not going to heal. It will never heal. I'm telling you, that energy is so powerful. We are powerful manifestors. So if you shift that and you say, thank you, like with my disease, I said, thank you all the time. Thank you. What a gift. I have learned the lesson. I'm ready to teach others. I'm ready to move on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But it took me time. I'm saying these words like it's a piece of cake. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Oh no. Oh no, this is freaking hard. I mean, this is like the hardest thing you will do. I mean, this is a process. This is a process of realizing that this love that you send to that need that's hurting, that is the connection. That is the healing relationship. And you can also talk to the soul. So Harriet knows this. Master Sha believes there's a soul in every part of your body. So you can say, like, dear soul of the knee, I love you, I honor you, and respect you. You have the power to heal yourself. Do a good job. And it's a team effort. And then just always just thinking of your knee, sending love to it, appreciating it, massaging it, giving it therapy, or seeing a physical therapist in addition to spiritual, physical love,
mental affirmation, everything, triangulation, use everything.
Yeah. Really,
I one time got a really bad burn, and I was at a spiritual retreat, and everybody came to me with their solution. I took it all. And do you know, it was like a 3rd-degree burn. I have no scar whatsoever. I just received everything. So I think it's a good approach, is to just take it all. So before we get, I don't know if we will make sure that you have more time. But I wanted to see if, did you want to do a little demo with anybody, or even a group healing or something like that?
If you guys would like to do that. I did want to mention one other thing that was coming up. There's something called the quantum field and 0 point, where if you can get into that state, miracles can happen. So I just want to say, the perception that things take a long time can be blown away if you can collapse time and be in this state and heal your body instantly. So I just want to say that, because that's coming through, that it doesn't have to take a long time. When you're ready, when you're committed, if you can get into that state, and sometimes you might need a little bit of help, there's healers that can get you to that state, then you can heal it.
Wow, what an idea. So so just checking in with all of you on there, is somebody want a specific healing, or do you want you do? Susan wants a healing.
Well, I was going to make a comment too.
Oh, okay, Susan, go ahead and make a comment. Yes.
I wanted to comment. Like what, and questions. We can have questions too now.
And questions, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, because opens it up, really. I was just going to make a comment that, well, related to healing, it's a form of healing. So I'm on the other side of cancer also. And one of the things I've noticed, I really, is self-care, which is really for healing, right? That if someone has negative energy, and if they're engaging with me, I can see the creepy crawlers. I can see it, like negative energy. I have Superman glasses, and I don't want it. I'm nice, I'm always respectful, but I won't let it in because I think it's destructive. And I won't engage it. And my boundaries, really good, but not, skillfully. But that's what I see as healing. Kind of working around on how to manage the energies. I wanted to hear
your response.
As a matter of fact, I thought about this so much. My more recent thought is, why isn't exposure to abuse, workplace or domestic, just as big as a risk factor for cancer, like all the other things like diet and health and sleeping? I've been reviewing how they talk about cancer risk factors. And I even brought it up with one of my cancer doctors, and she agreed it's not out there as a factor that stimulates cancer. So I'm convinced that it's, I mean, I can see it. So what do you think
Well,
about all that?
Oh gosh, I read a book and now I can't think of it because, you know, I'm at that age where all these thoughts just fly out of my brain. But there was a book that addressed that, oh gosh, what's it called? That the trauma creates a huge risk factor in
Right.
all kinds of health issues. That because you don't deal with the trauma, it has a huge impact. And there are, you know, biological reasons for that. The fact that we're holding our emotions back, that we're constricting the flow of energy, we're constricting the flow of fluids in our body. And there is a book about that. And Susan, once I look on my bookshelf and remember what it is, I'll send that to you. But it is trauma. Oh, the body knows the score. The body knows the score is the name of the book.
I spent all day listening to him.
Oh, you did?
He's just did a 2-day training conference on trauma. And he's amazing. I listened to him all day long.
What's his name again?
Bessel Vanderkoot.
Oh yeah, it's not an easy name.
I never remember his name. It's only because I
Very
saw
good.
him today.
That's it. Awesome. Yes, that's that. Oh my gosh.
Doctors will not say, and I'm like, are you kidding? This is completely obvious. They won't say it's a key factor for cancer. They won't put it there. I think it's a major factor. So that's, I just wanted to make that point about self-care.
Read his book. It's
I read it years ago. It came
out.
out.
You did? Well,
and I've been following him ever since.
Awesome.
He's, I looked him up today. He's on YouTube. I didn't know he made so many presentations.
Awesome person.
Okay. I hear if you thought that, if you see that as a factor too in your own belief.
Well, I certainly do. Charissa?
Yeah, I mean, that happened to me. Absolutely. I think you're onto something, Susan, and maybe there's a book in you if you haven't written one already. What do you think about that?
Well, I have to tell you, it's so powerful in me that I signed up to give a TED Talk.
Wow.
There you go.
I'm going to talk with the way I sound. I'm better now.
Yep. Yep. This is your journey.
It feels so big that this is like a big, gigantic missing area.
Absolutely.
And it's because they haven't found the metabolic pathway that they can track and say, this kicked it off, but they're researching it now. You know, like they're looking for an ALS metabolic pathway. Like, and I know it's there, but I think the aggression just blows up all the processes, like you're saying.
You have so many gifts. So I just want to say what you brought up in the beginning about, I just want to address what you brought up in the beginning about people's energy and that you can actually see it, like these little black little guys all around him. That is a gift because most people cannot see it, including me. You know, I'll feel it like after my abilities are more just like a knowing. And so that's a very powerful gift that you have. And so I would highly encourage you to explore that. And I'm so excited for your TED Talk. So make sure to share with Michelle and we can all.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yes.
Tune in.
New. What I'm saying to you is new. I'm just realizing it.
That's amazing. Amazing.
That's what's happened. It's like, that's what cancer is, like creepy crawlers, I think, you know, it's kind of insidious. But people's energy can really hurt people.
Well, and you also have to watch what kind of stuff you allow into your mental arena, like watching news that's all negative, or surfing the internet and looking at all those horrific stories where they're trying to get your attention and it's all anger or it's hostility or it's fear. It has an impact on your mindset. And that has an impact.
That's what's different around. That's why I brought it up as healing, that it's like a healing to keep it out. It's another form of seeing it and like not letting it in.
Yeah. And perhaps there are even ways to create shields so that when you can't literally exit a place, you can create a shield that can protect you as well.
Well, yeah, you think about some of these people, like the politicians. I don't know how they walk around. I mean, look what's coming. Look what's coming at them. I envy them. I want to be like that. I don't know how they deal with it a lot. So
I think Marianne Williamson, when she was doing her thing, she just kept on sending love out. She just kept on
that's
sending
great.
love.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? We're getting really close to the end of this. Was amazing, Charissa. Does anybody else out there have questions?
I just had a comment. I think it's
Sure.
Gabor Mate, who is also doing work with trauma. He's done a series recently.
Right.
And, you know, he talks about his own trauma growing up. And it was his wife who really got him to deal with his own. And he's really a master dealing with people's trauma.
Well, and so of course there are the gifts that come from a particular life story, is that when you go through that kind, it does shift the way in which you experience the world, and you actually can get some special gifts out of it. Like I know that some people, because it was a very traumatic, violent home, that they develop such a super sensitivity that they actually can communicate with people from the other side. Because they develop this sensitivity. Or for you, Susan, being able to see the negativity in the air, or Charissa, for you to be able to see the blocks, that has to do, I'm sure, with your life.
So coping gets developed. It gets developed in the act of coping with the situation.
Yeah.
And Malidoma Some used to always say, your wound is your gift. Your wound is your gift.
Right.
So those things that that were your wound, you become the healer. You become your wound.
That's right. That's right. In fact, that's what I try to tell my clients, is that the challenges they've had are a sign or a guide to where they need to step into the world and share their own journey, because there is nothing like having gone through it yourself. Does anybody else? Sarah, you got your hand up.
Yeah.
So I can definitely relate to what everybody's saying. Even the heebie-jeebies comment by Susan. I don't always see it, but I can feel it. Sometimes, like when I walk by a house,
I think you must have muted yourself.
get uncomfortable.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, my speaker sometimes goes in and out. I apologize.
It's okay.
I guess though my point is yeah, I do feel like I'm a highly sensitive person. Unfortunately, sometimes I feel like it's a curse. Like with it sometimes, like I don't feel like it belongs in this world. But here's the thing: is I have been doing the work for as long as I can remember, because I did feel like it was. I didn't ever want to pass any of the hurt, the trauma, the cycle, any of that on. I feel at a very young age to be responsible that this pain, this hurt, this anguish stops with me, or let it go beyond me. And so I always felt an obligation, really, like to myself or to whomever I ever might have in my life, or who I ever wanted to maybe have in my life. You know, I daydreamed who it would be. It's never happened, but whatever. That I could somehow heal myself and just do the work, you know, whatever it was taking when I was doing it. You know, different parts of my life took different things, right? But I'm 42 and I'm tired. And I'm just kind of wondering, how many more layers are there? Like, how much more work is there to do?
I want to make a comment on that. Have you studied with Judith Orloff? I just took several hours of training with her this year and last year, and she's perfect she teaches highly sensitive people. That's her thing.
And also I would like to have Charissa, you to respond. Sarah, I believe that Charissa was sending some healing energy in your direction.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And thank you, Susan, for that comment as well. Yeah, feel free to put any information you want for Sarah in the chat if you'd like her to connect with someone you know. So so I actually got a number that came to me about the layers. Are you interested?
Yeah.
Okay, 42.
And how old did you say you were?
I am 42.
Oh.
Okay.
At least one per year.
You're done. You're almost done.
But like 5 can be removed. 5 can be removed at once. So, but not all at once. Not all 42 can be removed at once because there's like a little hierarchy of things happening for you. So that was what was coming through for you.
So Sarah, we are going to post in the chat and also on my website that Charissa does provide an introductory conversation and you're welcome to having that conversation with her for free and seeing what she might be able to provide for you. So Charissa, make sure you put that in there.
Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to say another thing, Sarah. I want to give you a visual right now because this is your gifts. Like you are this powerful force. And I see you just taking these gifts like Tai Chi and just moving them and into exactly where you need them. So, so that you can expand even more. So yeah, that's a great, strategy for you there's this process that, is going to happen with you. And, it's just, I just feel like there's so much that you have to share with others. And anyway, so that was what was coming through. Feel free to reach out if you want to book a discovery call and we can talk more.
Thank you.
Okay.
That actually does resonate. I just started learning Tai Chi.
Oh, okay, great. It's really, really good for you. I'm like telling you, keep at it. Keep this Tai Chi going. It is so healthy for you. It is really keeping you in your body and appreciating your abilities and harnessing that power, that chi that is within you, that is just dying to get out. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Oh my God. I love helping people wake up.
Yeah. So we have a couple of other people. Do you want to chime in? Nisha, did you have any questions? Priya, Ellen, before we only have 5 minutes left. This is your chance to ask your question.
If you don't want to ask it publicly, you can
post it in the chat.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, that's your
question. I just want to say thank you, Charissa.
That's Ellen.
Who's that speaking?
Ellen.
Oh,
Ellen.
Ellen.
Oh, Ellen. Oh, my pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you. And I got good references on the books. Can you see the chat when you replay this on the Facebook?
You have to save it. So you have to click on the little 3 buttons on the right and then you will see save chat. And if you save chat, it will save to your desktop. Do you see it?
Yep, I did.
I just want to say where I'm at right now. So I'm here with about 8 other girls on a girls' trip. And I wasn't sure if I was able to connect, right, Michelle? The Wi-Fi is not working. my cell phone wasn't working and I'm using someone else's phone. It's truly a miracle that I was able to connect right now. Let's just say that I'm using someone else's hotspot, their phone. And it's just like, I don't know, I was meant to talk with all of you ladies here. But I'm just staying in this magical place. It's called Treehouse. It's by a river and it has its own hot springs underneath the house, little swimming pool. And I was just in the hot springs and this whole area is just amazing. It's the mountains in Colorado. And it's the home of the Ute Indians, UTE. So we're really feeling their energy and we're going to be
That's where I'm
blessing the
from.
land here.
Are you from there? Awesome, Sarah.
Oh, we really need to connect. Yeah. So, so that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Wow, that's great.
I'm glad you did say that because I'm saying, why is she in the bathroom?
Oh, I know.
And it's
Isn't
not
this
the
like
bathroom. I was just looking at the towel that's hanging up there
I
behind.
know. I know. This is such a professional like background. This is like, you know, me being whimsical fairy. I want to go to the hot springs, but I have an interview.
You're amazing, Charissa, and an inspiration because I was up
Oh.
in Oregon a couple of weeks ago and I had an interview scheduled and I delayed it. I said, I want to be there 100% and I'm not going to do it out in the middle of the pine forest in Oregon. I just didn't want to do it. You know, it wasn't that I didn't thought the background was bad. Actually, the background was great. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go into that space. I wanted to be in the quiet of the pine forest. But you, I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to say the trees wanted to be with you too. They
did.
wanted you to themselves because they were waiting for you. And it was such a blessing for you to be there in those trees. I'm just like, they're saying right now, thank you, thank you. So it's like trees get our energy. It's just such a beautiful reciprocal relationship. You know, trees are amazing, healing beings, stationary beings.
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing to be out there. Thank you. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I just did not want to have any connection with anything except that. So it was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any final comments before I wrap up the call today?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
My
Okay.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I have something. Oh,
Yes.
Go ahead. Who else wanted to say something?
I was just saying thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. I just wanted to say this is the end of this year, 2021, and next year is going to be a powerful year, 2022, of collaboration, connection, and taking divinely inspired action. And so I hope that you are all inspired today, and much love to all of you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for showing up today. Come back again for the Healers Connection on Friday. We're having an extra session in the same week about grief and loss. It's 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And if you can make it, if you can't, it will be recorded. And this show, if you want to see it again, will be on the Healers Connection website area. You click the button for past shows. And so it's healersconnection.com. You can get right there. And don't forget, if you want to take advantage of my life purpose kit, it's releasebrilliance.com. You have an awesome evening and a fabulous rest of this year. Enjoy the holiday, enjoy your respite before we go supercharged into the next year.
Thank you.
Bye for now. And Charissa, again, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure. I love it when I get people like you. I just love doing this. It is my vocation. Yeah.
Charissa, where
Thank
do
you,
you live?
everybody.
Where do you live?
I live in Colorado.
Oh,
Colorado.
But on
I live in
Zoom,
this
you can be
bathroom.
anywhere.
right. Just curious.
Okay. All right, Sarah, take
Yeah.
care.
Okay, bye,
Misha,
everybody.
love seeing you. Priya, I hope you got what you wanted, and we'll see you next time. That's it, Charissa. Bye for now.